today. So, Today we're going to be talking about just a couple of concepts. First, I'm going to just discuss kind of like why I don't like how I called this other video a blind reaction. Um, and I linked to it in the description. I love the video. Um, I think I did. Well, that might sound narcissistic, but I reacted to somebody else's content, and so I'm happy that I did that, is what I meant. I just realized I think that was ableist. I'm still working on that. I recently learned that the term narcissism is an actual diagnosis, which like I've learned that within the last year, and I still catch myself slipping on using that word. I don't like that I do that. Um, and it's interesting to me because it kind of speaks to institutionalized colonialism because, like, for me, that was used as like a vocabulary word to memorize in my educate like in school. And so I think about that, like how systemic it is and how it becomes normalized, and then it becomes hard for us to stop using colonial words because it's so ingrained into society, and it's like what everybody else is doing it. Not that, what I mean, like I want to change that about, like, so I guess that tracks for the conversation I want to have on the ableist terminology, where I don't like that I used blind reaction as well. And I've been thinking about, I was trying to look up some specific sources on that, but that was difficult. And so we'll just do like a quick discussion on that concept first to start off the live stream. Um, and then after that, we're gonna move into a little reaction of this real estate show that I found. And I'm really into real estate, kind of as a concept. I think I'm just somewhat fascinated by it, both on the colonialism side. I'm very interested with how real estate, um, in terms of land ownership, upholds the colonial concepts of the infrastructure we live under. Um, and then in terms of marketing and sales, I'm also interested in studying it in terms of how like people how people negotiate, how people price what they price, the logic, the way they sell that, the marketing that goes behind into it. And then when it comes to watching how businesses market themselves, I'm fascinated with watching advertising to see with what type of ad is this going to be. Is it engagement focused? Is it do they try to go for a top, middle, bottom funnel? Like, like I love seeing what they do with it. And sometimes I feel like they try to go too much all at once and it doesn't work out. Typically, real estate, like reality shows, would be more of like an awareness engagement type, in my opinion, um, focus. But we'll see if they try to like throw any other types of marketing funnels, sales funnels within what we see, because I haven't seen what we've seen before yet. What we're gonna watch. I can't speak. I haven't seen what we're gonna watch before yet, right? Okay, well maybe you have. I haven't. But yeah, fucking. So I'm gonna roll my intro and then we'll get started with this bitch. Hi, my name is Lexi, aka Deaf Child. I'm born deaf, hard of hearing. My team was one of the top teams between 2020 and 2024 in New Orleans and Louisiana. I began doing business as Deaf Child in 2013, marketing 2011, and sales 2009. I've earned 50 plus certifications in marketing and sales, and I have my Bachelor of Science from Loyola University, New Orleans, with a music industry studies major and a business administration minor. Visit my site at noladeafchild.com. I just remembered also, I forgot that there was like a volume issue too between like I've made new like intros and stuff, and I'm trying out this countdown thing too because that way I think it kind of solves where I feel silly just wait like, and the previously before the countdown, what I was just like, you just see me staring at the TV, like at the TV, I mean at the computer screen. I don't know why I'm calling this a TV, my bad. Fucking at the computer screen for like a second, because it'll like show me that it doesn't tell me that I'm live. It'll say like, I forget the word it used. I need to screenshot this. And then it'll say that it'll go green and say I'm live, and then I start talking, right? Like, but so then like I don't feel like I'm live yet, and so then I'm just like looking at the damn thing, but I'm actually, it actually is recording and then streaming what the fuck I'm doing, and so it took me time to realize like, okay, well, what can I do to fix it? I'm like, okay, I guess a buffer, and I got that idea. Like I saw, um, and I'm realizing maybe I should look more into the content creators I've been following, but so Runkle of the Bailey has fucking just like little intro where it's like a dynamite stick, and it's like the dynamite stick is lit, and like the little flame is going down, the spark is going down the fuse until, is that the right word, like the little thing, until it hits the dynamite, then it goes boom, and he says boom, and then he starts his live stream. So that's what he does for that. And so from seeing that little part, I was like, okay, I just need something to start, right? That's what I thought. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry I'm spending so long on this. But all of that to say, yeah, I realized that the volume issue, um, the volume for my new intro and all of that shit and outro and that thing is like super loud, and that countdown thing. Um, and I meant to fix it today, but I forgot. So, whoops. But I'm gonna try to remember to make all of that the same volume, so there's no difference between like the rest of the audio and the volume, I think, if I can. But yeah, I forgot to even try to today. Okay, so now actually looking into, I just wanted to check out and discuss just the concept of if blind reaction is ableist. And I've done a lot of work on ableist terminology and ableism as a concept, primarily as it relates to deafness. Um, but whenever I'm like Googling, blind reaction ableist, I couldn't find any specific search engine results on my search engine result page about this specifically for this specific term. But similar to the way deafness is used, um, I do find, that I feel like the general concept of with blindness is that it's probably not the best to use it as a metaphor typically. Um, and here's my logic for this. Like for me, I'm low vision, hard of hearing. So I consider myself deaf blind. Um, and then I've also linked the description of the video, an interview I had with a deaf blind dancer, Unique the Deaf Dancer. Um, that's deaf, obviously, DEAF. Um, I still got it wrong, but whatever. But at least, okay. Fucking, so anyway, um, but I highly recommend checking that out. Like, just kind of understanding more about our lived experience, because we just kind of talk about our whole lives from like shit we're doing in the moment to like from growing up to like, like all of it. And it's a 40-minute discussion. It's pretty good. And I timestamped it. She showed up, I think, like, I forgot how far in, but I think it was about 10-ish minutes into the live stream she shows up, and I timestamped it on that video if you want to go skip to there. Um, but yeah, fucking, I highly recommend checking that out, just for that perspective there. Um, and then my other just general content on ableism, I do think is kind of relevant. So I linked to one of the recent videos I did on that, and I think just kind of understanding where I come from in that video will kind of give you where my mindset is here on that terminology. But basically, for me, it's just kind of like the concept of, okay, it's a blind reaction because you've never seen it before, right? And then you're reacting to something that you didn't see previously. And I totally get that on one level, disabilities can be a human condition in terms of anybody can become disabled, whether that's permanent or temporary. Um, but on another level, I perceive it as something that doesn't kind of take into account the lived experiences of people who are always blind and never see, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in terms of like, nothing is a monolith. I can't speak for everybody, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I would love for anybody who identifies as blind to provide me with their lived experience on that concept, like how they feel. Um, um, but yeah, fucking for me, I just don't feel that like I don't like the way it normalizes the use of blindness as a metaphor. And I think that can kind of contribute to ableism. And then I kind of just don't like the way it kind of negates how, there's first time reactions for everybody, in my opinion. I always feel iffy when I see any form of disability used in metaphors and figures of speech. But, that's just me. And I can understand why some people would, because like initially I even titled my first video "Blind Reaction," and I was like, yeah, I'm calling this a blind reaction because I've never seen this video before, and I linked that in the description of this video. Um, and I was at the time thinking like, um, well, it doesn't, as a term itself, I don't think I couldn't understand at that time how it might degrade anybody or anything like that, or leave anybody out or exclude anybody. But, so, I don't know. In hindsight, I kind of don't like how, it gives this connotation or association to the idea of reacting blindly in a way, you know what I mean? Or what it means to be blind when you react to something, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what about every blind reaction, every blind person's reaction, you know? I just don't like the idea of taking conditions and identities of that you don't have or that you're not a part of and then labeling them as your own and kind of redefining what that means. Um, I've said redefining. Wait, yeah, I was having a hard time finger spelling that. Sorry, that was bad. But yeah. Oh fuck, the captioner got that wrong twice. So Redefining. Man, hearing people have spelling bees, but did they even know what deaf people go through? Anyway, I'm sorry. Fucking. um. But yeah, fucking. But all that to say, I feel like I summed that up. I feel like I don't really have too much more to say on that because I haven't fully processed that concept myself yet. I was just thinking of that when I was going to name this video. I was like, you know what? I don't want to call this that. I don't like that. And that's how I feel personally. So yeah. But yeah, from here on out, we're going to segue into reacting to this reality TV show here. And fucking, so I was just looking up, like, I actually just realized, like, I had the typo in sales. So, oops, I forgot the A, but that's fine. Fucking, but I was just kind of looking up to find some perhaps particular scenes from, I was thinking I would maybe find some common, not common, but like more popular, like Netflix shows or some shit where I could just kind of show some deal snippets. I've done one of those with Selling Sunset before. Um, and what I do find is this, um, reality show here that they call it Chicago Reality Real Estate Show. Moving up, episode 1, and then they put not Selling Sunset in the title here, and I was kind of thinking on why they would do that. So part of me is like, well, maybe that would be to compete with Selling Sunset with terminology, with SEO to show up. for selling sunset related content, like they want to be associated, because that is what happens when you use their name and the content like that, particularly in the title. Um, and part of me is like, I wonder why they put not selling sunset. So are they trying to say that they have something that differentiates themselves, or are they trying to say this is just make sure people know what? But I don't understand why they would need to make sure people know that it's not um, selling sunset, because that's not the only real estate TV show there is out there. There's several, and so I don't know. Um, but yeah, I was just thinking, like, that particular, like, is that like to compete, like, I wonder in what way did they mean that in regards to selling sunset. It's just a question. I can't speak for them. It's probably not even a big deal. It could just be an SEO thing. But then I'm kind of wondering, like, could it also be, though, just a question, like uh, what's something, I don't know what word to use here. Like, what's something where it's like a dig? Is that a good word here? Where it's kind of like a dig at selling sunset. Like, what do you mean by that? Or something, or is it that why they do it too, just to kind of get more people to be a little more interested to watch with that comparison, or like, do they see themselves as better than selling sunset, perhaps? Like, why would they need to say it's not selling sunset? Like, um, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. And then in the comments, I was also kind of fascinated by the comments, but a lot of people, um, one person was saying, geez, lost me with the horrible reality that it's scripted reality and that this shit isn't good. Get new actors. They are everywhere since it's reality. Sometimes I wonder what would actually happen if people that produce these series or fund them actually went and got some of the go-getters in the relevant field and location. And not just a silver spoon, no fun or personality people such as those so casted for this show. And then I think this comment is cut off. I hate that Google or YouTube or whatever will do that, because fucking mine have been cut off too. I was like, why? Then just put a character limit if you're gonna cut them off. Damn. Um, but yeah, but then you have the opposite where you have people like, I'm trying to get my real estate license. I would love to work with your agency. But then we have another person here with the puke emoji saying not representative of Chicago. Another person put, this show is so fucking ass, all caps. Then they put fire emojis, some heart eye emojis. Then they put, please never release another episode, all caps. And then the like emoji that's a smile with like some hearts around it. Um, and then one says power power. What the fuck does that mean? One person put, this is lame as fuck. And then someone else put, when is the next episode? Please make it happen. Someone wanted to know the song name a minute in. Maybe that's their intro. Someone else put FNF up. Chicago, let go. Ryan and Danny, proud of y'all. So I guess that's a friend. But, this is 1 year ago. I mean, I heard people talk like this, about 10 years ago, but I didn't realize they must be a millennial who never got out of their college days or high school days. Maybe I'm being a bitch. Hmm. You know, I, I gotta tell my friend that I'm a shitty friend, because last night I texted them happy birthday and they just texted me, thank you for remembering, it means so much. But now I gotta go tell them, to be honest, I have a shit memory. It was our other friend who reminded me, so we gotta thank her. Yeah, but I gotta be honest, like, but, hey, look, It's the truth. But look, my bad. Um, what happened was, um, I can't remember. I'm really bad at dates. I really should have. They okay. So everybody did tell me their birthday, but I did not add that to my calendar, and I really should have. So gotta add, So if I remember your birthday, it's because something is wrong with me and I care about you. I'm just kidding. No, nothing is wrong with me. Well, no, something is definitely wrong with me. But fucking, not have to say I'm kidding about if I care about you. Damn. Um, fucking. I actually don't remember that many people's birthdays. So one person put, "It's just real. Everyone seems so empty. Sorry, way sidetracked." Um, and fucking another person put, "That's usually the reality with most people who think they're out of reach." Another person put, "What a funny ass show. Bunch of people showing a wannabe ass privileged money lifestyle." And then at the end, they bring in the gangster rapper that has nothing to do with their look, so they feel cool. I, you know, I would agree. I would like this comment more if they left it at the first sentence. With this other part, I wonder if what that means. But I haven't seen this yet. If it's someone culturally appropriating, um, I guess it could be. If it's making fun of that, then no issue there. But if it's a racist thing, then I'm like, ooh. Um, but I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know who's in this show yet. Um, One person said, "You said master bedroom and primary bedroom. It's funny trying to be politically correct in real estate." I don't know. I guess it could be amusing to laugh at slip ups and vernacular, but I don't understand why people think it's funny to want to work on decolonizing language. Um, I don't know. When someone goes with the whole trying to be politically correct thing, sometimes it comes from like if it's someone who just is genuinely trying to be like I don't know. It just feels more of like you don't care about like actually you know what not doesn't even it just feels like you don't really care about like ethics because like to me, politics and ethics are not the same. You know what I mean? Like politics, in my opinion, are an oppressive system used to uphold colonialism in this society. But at the same time, every community, every social organization, in some ways, has politics to it. In a way, you know what I mean? Any type of leadership, there's like a political structure in any form of a leadership. Um, you know what I mean? In my opinion. So I don't think like all spaces just because I don't even know how I got here, you know, have like a political infrastructure necessarily means that they're colonialized. But I do think when people like bring up the concept of political correctness, they care more about being perceived in a way that benefits them politically than about being like genuine. You know what I mean? Fucking, that looks like they're probably just degrading a woman for no reason. One person said this is why we need Stalinism in the U.S. I don't know what the fuck that. All right, I'm gonna stop reading these comments because they're kind of bugging me. So, let's just, this is the end of the pre-commentary reaction here, and now we're gonna segue into the actual reaction of this, and we're just gonna watch this and see what happens. Apartment, stole little glitter from the city of the heartless. I wanna scream, gonna do something reckless when So I guess for the intro, we're going with the montage. It is very 90s in my opinion. Um, I do feel we are dealing with a millennial cast here. So, maybe they'll have some splat bracelets. That will be exciting. You know what? With the font and the way that they're doing the intro, I feel like they're trying to be like their own little version of like the hills or um Laguna Beach or something, you know? Like that's kind of what that reminds me of for some reason.
Really happened, did it for the half of the fame to grab it.
I wonder if this is how people feel whenever they watch my long ass intro. If they're just like, do you well, I feel like my intro at least gives you some information about me, but I feel like I don't know why I would like this intro more if I could find a little bit of information about them. Is their intro just this montage? Or is this just the beginning of this episode and it's not even like an intro to the show? But I guess the beginning of a show is the intro to a show. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Am I wrong? I like it, like, I kind of like it in a way, like, I would like it if it was the beginning of a movie and this is going to be something really long. I think I would like it even more. But for some reason, I wish it told a story here. And I don't know if that's a valid critique or not to have, or if that's just nitpicky. So I guess, is it just kind of like showing what their life is like? Like, because it kind of goes in between, like, I guess, like, working type things and, like, montage, perhaps? Maybe we could say that? You know what I think it is? It's because it's not connected to me. It's just it's just a bunch of clips of different scenes that are not connected to me. Like a woman putting champagne into a bag, a guy playing a guitar, and then city. And it's just like all these random scenes that have no connection to me. So I guess that's where it is, where it just doesn't feel like there's any sort of storyline there.
I feel so confused, I can't get enough of you, enough of you.
Welcome to Hudson Burnham. We consider ourselves more of a real estate startup than a real estate brokerage. We offer the best service. We have the best culture, and
I think it's interesting that they're like, we're considering ourselves a real estate startup more than a real estate brokerage. I wonder how long they've been in business. I did not look that up. Particularly, typically after like the 10-year mark, you're not really considered a startup anymore. Um, so I guess if they're going, that plays back into where I said they could be like millennials. I do think they look like they could be. I'm 30. So I'm assuming that this cast, some of them look like they're in their 30s. I wouldn't be surprised if they're in their 40s. Um, some of them I saw might be in their 20s. That's what I'm thinking this age group is, 20 to 40s. Um, fucking So yeah, but I'm gonna assume it's more of a millennial vibe. So, but I do think that marketing yourself as a real estate startup is an interesting marketing move to me. Maybe they mean it in terms of trying to keep pumping it up, but after a certain time point, I wonder if that's just gonna be where that message doesn't work anymore because typically in business, if you stay at a startup position, you're not moving forward. So you should be moving forward. You should be beyond a startup. You should be wanting to establish yourself as someone with experience. Typically, when you think of a startup, those are people who, um, even if they have experience working for others, they're still getting off the ground on themselves. You know what I mean? And I don't know. When you're recognized as a strong startup by others, then you can be perceived as doing well because other people are recognizing you. But I feel like whenever you promote yourself as a startup, people will often see you as someone who lacks funds.
And we're on the forefront of technology. We take young entrepreneurial agents and we make them into top producers. We are the next generation of real estate.
I wonder what they do to teach, their team and help them produce, like what type of services that they offer that help their team be successful.
So today is fashion show day. I'm so excited. The whole team is going, and
So they're doing, I think, honestly, I think a fashion show event that ties back into lifestyle experiences. I really do see a multitude of ways that you can integrate those type like events that aren't part of your industry into what you do, but I'm very curious as to how they're going to integrate this into real estate.
it's just a great place to meet clients, network, see an amazing fashion show. It's gonna be awesome.
All right. I guess that's right. Like on one level, a big part of networking with your ideal clientele is being where they are. I could see that. That's how I get clients. In a lot of ways, just networking and talking to people and building those connections, like having being able to build one-on-one conversations with business owners will make you have will build your business faster, in my opinion, than running any ad ever will. Whenever you're doing working with business to business or type industries like this, or with bigger service industry related offers in your network. I don't know if I'm using the right words or if I make sense. And I'm not thinking service industry in terms of hospitality. I'm thinking service in terms of the difference between e-commerce or a service business model. So I can see how when you go to the types of fundraisers like these and you pick the event right, then you have the qualified buyers because you're looking for people when you're trying to do a certain price point. In real estate, for example, you're going to want qualified buyers who have the income to afford what you're offering, and going to the types of events where there's other things at that price point is actually a great way to make that happen.
Not bad. Which one do you want after your next deal?
This is a very exclusive event. Some of the most high net worth people in all of the country are going to be here today.
It's kind of our job to show them how great Chicago is. Maybe they can get an investment property here. This is our chance to kind of be like, hey, this is Chicago.
So basically, if anybody's not watching and they're just listening, we're basically kind of seeing people. I guess it's just like a mix between some type of like fundraiser, like car show. Previously, there was something being said about a fashion show, so maybe that's happening at this event, or maybe that's somewhere else. So yeah, I guess we're gonna see if they show us tying their mixing here into business transactions.
So are you excited to see some of your old coworkers here in the runway?
You know what? I'm a little nervous, but I'm glad I have her here with me. The professional shit talker.
The professional shit talker.
We're gonna be just fine.
I love that.
John said wait for the event because it's.
Okay, so now I see there's obviously chairs lined up here, and so it looks like there's going to be like, the fashion show here. I'm going to try upping this playback speed here just for the purpose of transforming it, adding more commentary, being able to not take too long because I obviously feel like I've already had a lot to say, and I know I spent probably, I don't know how much time I spent, but I'm assuming I spent probably between 10 and 15 minutes, maybe more, just on the whole concept of, is blind reaction as a term ableist, and I think it could be. Um, and so because I spent so long on that, now I'm just like, all right, well, now we're here. Well, but I think I'm like 10 to 15 minutes in, if I'm not wrong, um, just on 2.5 minutes in of commentary on this video. And so just to speed that up so I don't create like too long of a video, because I do need to do some other things today, um, that I think I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I can't decide if I would do 1.5 or 1.75 though. I think I might just put it up on 1.5 for now. And I might get up to 1.75 later. Um, so yeah, fucking, and right now what I'm just kind of reflecting on is we could look at whether or not we could perceive this as a predominantly white space, if we could reflect on that type of environment as it pertains to disparity when it comes to, okay, we're networking with qualified buyers at a certain price point, and then we see the income disparity where the racial disparity is intertwined there. Um, I don't know if I'm someone to speak on that, but that is something I noticed. Fucking, I think that like we look at the name brands they have here, we kind of look at, when we think of the whole concept of real estate in general, it's kind of, dystopian, right? But yeah, so because I'm not the best person to speak on those issues and I need to decolonize more, for me, with using the resources available to me under the confines of colonialism and capitalism that we exist in, what I feel like I know to do at this time to remotely help others is to inform on like how we can apply marketing and sales strategies to ourselves to grow our own income, because of the structural genocide that exists under capitalism. It's just like, we do need to, if we don't have money under the structure, we won't survive. But then at the same time, I'm like, is that just perpetuation of the problem? I don't know. So, like, I could, there could be like, if like things ended where today, where like there was just no more money because it's useless, I'd be pretty happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, I don't know. But yeah. All right. Let's watch this.
Distracting.
We're just so distracting. Hey Chris, what's up, man?
I'm not ready yet.
We came here to support you. Even Ryan's here. Ryan.
I mean, I guess even the after marketing alone from the photo shoot will be really good for their marketing, because part of marketing is brand exposure. The more times people spend with you, both the amount of time and length of time, then the more likely they are to remember you. And the more likely they recognize or recall you, that ties to brand loyalty. So if someone recalls you, then like they don't need a prompt in order to remember you. Like they can just recall you at the top of your head. Um, and so when that happens, that is typically your either first choice or last choice, basically. Like if they're like, okay, I know I want this, or no, I don't want this. And typically when someone recognizes you, then you're gonna be the second choice. They're gonna be, okay, well, my first choice isn't available, so I'll go for this next. And so yeah, that's kind of like the whole concept with, even when you're just putting your face out there as a business owner, that itself can be like business connection, networking, and marketing for you. So just being places, right?
Say good luck, Chris. Good luck, Chris. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'll kill it just for you.
This is J-Lo, like from the VMAs.
Bro, this shit is so basic.
I love how they put not selling sunset, but that J-Lo dress, where was it? Hold up. Yeah, this one. Oh shit, hold on, sorry. This dress was in Selling Sunset. So I'm like, I love how you're like, we're not selling Sunset, but they're gonna use the same dress. Um. Anyway, that's just something I noticed.
My position here at Hudson Burnham is a lead distributor. Leads are constantly flowing in, and my phone's going off 24 hours out of the day.
Okay, lead distributor, here we go. Listen up. This is their marketing here. Lead distributor, that's tied to their marketing and sales pipeline right here. I wonder, as a lead distributor, if her role is connected to both marketing and sales, or if she's more involved in sales or more involved in marketing. Typically, when you're dealing with qualified leads, typically that would be, in most places I work at, more on a sales end. But every business has a different, what's called a service level agreement, which is a connection between their sales team and their marketing team. Typically, you have like your marketing qualified, your marketing accepted leads, then your marketing qualified leads, then your sales accepted leads, then your sales qualified leads. And the handoff can be different at either point, and every business has a different procedure for how they act on that. Some businesses, they would do it to where like the lead distributor would be at the handoff from the lead distributor would be from the marketing qualified lead to the sales accepted lead. So the lead distributor would give the lead from as a marketing qualified lead to the real estate agent as a sales team to then qualify them there. Or it could be where their marketing teams already qualified them as a marketing qualified lead, and her job is to take them as a sales accepted lead and qualify them to then pass them on. It could be different depending on their business structure and business model, because every business is different, and the setup that they have to differentiate that is typically called a service level agreement between their marketing team and sales team. Um, so yeah, I'm wondering what their structure is, but I think they're probably, maybe they're about, I don't know if they're going to decide or not, but we'll see. I mean, explain or not. I do think that it's interesting talking about the Prada bag or whatever, or like the way that they utilize brands in here and the concepts of um, needing to show how much money you have through these specific brand items. I think that is interesting.
Oh my God, your Prada bag is so cute.
Thank you. It's a commission bag.
Hey, Caroline. Hey, so Gabby has her showing today at the Penthouse on Grand. I want you to just...
And I think it's interesting, after I said that comment, then we watched this. When she had said, thank you, it's a penthouse bag, there's a ka-ching sound effect. But yeah, all right. So we're watching. I don't know, even whether or not this is how what would really be their intake process with their marketing and sales flow, because it could be totally just like scripted, filmed, fake. I do think it's interesting to consider the procedure here at play, as it could improve or even harm your own business.
Bring some clients by, show some support. She is new. Let's make it fun. See you there. Isn't that your client?
That is my client. Jade, did you give Gabby my client?
That's something I don't understand. Typically, there would be no like, let's redistribute clients. You know what I mean? Like if someone came back in and they were asking, unless someone came back in asking for a new agent, or someone came back in, they didn't realize they were a prior client. But if that's the case, then there's something wrong with your case filing. If you know what I mean, or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I would understand if there's an explanation. But yeah, that sounds shade. That sounds messy.
I'm so sorry. I literally was been meaning to talk to you about that. Gabby's been closing so many deals. I just gave it to her.
Does Gabby know that's Veronica's client?
I don't.
Yeah, I feel like that's some fucked up business practice right there, because you work really hard to get the leads you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just redistribute the leads. Like, if that's how you feel, then just go give Veronica the new leads that come in. Don't Gabby or whoever got the person who, I don't know these bitches' name, but they're not bitches. I don't know these people's names, but the people who got the client stolen should get to keep the client, is what I think. Is what I'm trying to say. And if you really feel like another person should get some extra clients because they're doing well as a reward, you shouldn't be redistributing clients. You're a lead distributor, not redistributor. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think Gabby does know that's firm at this point.
I mean, that's a $5 million deal, so I'm definitely not going to the open house. I've been working with that client for a long time, so it makes things.
Yeah, but that is awkward. But also, it's like, if that is your client, though, why aren't they talking about working with you? Why aren't they insisting on working with you? What is wrong with the client relationship there as well? Or did they do something to impede your client relationship? Like, this raises all sorts of questions for me on like a level. Or so, is this something that actually occurred and holy shit, that's your problem? And they just put that into the show to cause drama? Or is that like something that, they just put into the show to, it's just scripted and it's just kind of there to be like something to be a little drama? I don't know, but either way, it's just a little messy.
Things really uncomfortable.
I mean, yeah, we can definitely talk to them. I'm not sure what we can do though. I'll see what we can do.
That's so messed up.
This is bullshit. I get that Jade gets calls all day, but that's her job.
When a client
I don't know if a client calls and you don't connect, they don't speak to an agent immediately. I don't know if it's true that you'll lose the deal. Is it true? Look, I do marketing, so I can speak to what it's like to acquire my leads from a marketing level. My opinion as a marketing agency owner is, if a client doesn't want me because they can't connect to me immediately, then we're better off without each other, baby. But you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, yeah, so I don't know. I think that's an interesting approach. Typically, clients are like, if they're satisfied with the result of the work, they understand you're a human being and they don't have to, if you're, make yourself like available enough to where, you respond in a timely manner. You're not a robot. You know what I'm saying? So just a one time not being available in that moment shouldn't cause you to lose a client, in my opinion. But at the same time, there's got to be something wrong there, or maybe they just hadn't developed that strong of a relationship, or maybe it was common for where that client had done so many deals with that agency, they didn't really care which agent they got. Then I could be like, okay, well, I get it. Like, if the client just wants an agent now, get this done now, then I can kind of see what they mean. But as a principle, I don't know. I feel like it would have to be a very specific case basis for me to get the logic, not as a rule of thumb.
client calls and I don't connect them to an agent immediately, we lose that deal. I don't know why Veronica's acting like this is the last big deal we're ever gonna get.
Because it's about building client relationships. It may not be about how big, yeah, obviously losing on a big deal that, where you worked on that client before would suck, right? But like, yeah, it's also about the slight.
Hey!
Oh my gosh, Chrissy, thank you so much for coming.
No problem. I brought the champagne. Nothing
Amazing.
that can't fix.
Another thing too is I think marketing and sales teams, like, they do better whenever they work together, my opinion. So you would think that also developing your relationships and collaborating within your team would be good too, huh? I don't know. So now assuming they're talking about some form of open house or open broker house thing, whatever the fuck those are called.
So when are people coming? What's up? In like 30 minutes, and there's so much to do. Apparently the cleaners were supposed to come last night, but clearly no one did, so that's all on us. And hopefully everyone shows up, but who actually knows? I just want to get this place looking perfect before the first person shows up.
All right, well, show me what needs to be done. Show me around a bit.
Yeah,
I'm sure we can
I mean, first things first, these gas station snacks like literally need to go.
Oh, 100%. I saw a convenience store downstairs. Do you want me to grab some fruit?
Oh my god, that would be amazing. It's on the first floor?
Yeah.
Perfect, I would love that.
Perfect, bitches love fresh fruit.
All All right, so we need to start decluttering and depersonalizing. I mean, these flowers have been dead, so they've got to go. Yeah, perfect. Oh, that pillow can go there.
Yeah, perfect.
Promoting the open house is only half the battle. The experience is the second half. When people walk into your open house, it needs to be memorable. It's the vibe, it's the energy, it's how they feel.
I do think that it's interesting that they're waiting so last minute to touch these things up when it's such a big, quote unquote deal for them for this event. But also, it kind of goes to show like we have all been there with business owners, like before meetings. I'll be working on my clients up until the minute before the meeting starts, unless like I need to shower and eat, and I'll be like, okay, I gotta go shower and eat, things like that. Like that'll happen for sure. Um, um, but yeah, so I kind of understand on some levels where time gets to you and you still gotta do your thing, make a living. And so you do end up in a time frame where you're doing things last minute. But overall, I feel like you get better results. Everybody's happier with each other if there's more communication and you're getting these things done in advance. Like if, the cleaners hadn't shown up or whatever, but you hadn't scheduled them last minute, you would have had time to get this done already. I don't know. I also feel like rich people just throwing away the container the flowers are in is interesting too.
Is this their future home? Do they want to buy this place?
Let's get these straightened out.
What happened here?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Down. Oh my god, that motorcycle though. Do you think it's real? If I sit on it?
At one point, it probably was functional. Oh my god, that looks expensive.
Yeah, I'm not gonna...
One of the coolest
I think that might be a rope. I mean, I'm not there, so I can't look at it or feel it. But from video, that does look real. I think tire's fat. Am I wrong? But yeah.
Most things about Hudson Burnham, in my opinion, is how fast we're growing. We started with apartments in Chicago, and now Danny's going to Italy for a listing that is literally a cat.
So now I'm like thinking about the ways they're fighting over the leads though. Is it more of like, well, they didn't even generate those leads themselves, those were just leads handed to them through the agency? Then I guess maybe I do get the agency being a bit more like, well, they're the leads we generated, so we're just going to make sure they get taken care of as quickly as possible. But if they were leads that those real estate agents generated themselves, that would be super, super fucked, in my opinion. Thinking on that a little bit more.
Ciao, Giuseppe.
Listen, Danny, the reason I'm calling is because I thought about your offer and I think your American clientele would love Monticelli. I also think the castle would look beautiful on your website.
I could not agree more. I think it's going to be amazing. With us, you would be the main focus.
You will need to come here.
That is a pretty cool skyline view and all of that, but yeah, dude, I really think this is interesting when you reflect on income disparity. That's all I have to think about.
Immediately. You come in 24 hours, we get the deal done, the castle is yours.
Perfect, Giuseppe. I'll see you in 24 hours. I'll be in Rome. We'll go from there.
Perfect. Ciao, Danny.
Ciao.
But yeah, look at the way the deal's done too. It's all about relationships as well. In some cases, some clients and some business partners that you work with, they're gonna want more formal attitude, like talking to them so casually they would drop you. But then other people, it's like if you're too formal, they see you as closed off, and you need to be able to act personable with them to develop that relationship, and they're going to be more likely to stay with you. So it's like sometimes it could be like you could just lean into a different way of business and just work with those types of people, and sometimes it's like you could decide to try and shift depending on the type of client you have, or I don't know. I have a hard time being too corporate, but people think that because I'm so like quote unquote organized, some people will perceive me more on that side. But then some people, because of my attitude, will see me on the other side, so it can depend.
Today, it is such a great honor to present to you Castello Monticelli, an Italian castle sitting on top of a mountain.
I wonder what inter-country licensing there is, like, or what's required legally to do real estate with different countries, or if it's a matter of, well, because they have the business connection with that other Italian dude, it's fine for them to bring their clients in and they'll work with that Italian dude. Is that it? I don't know. But yeah, this is an incredibly big ass fucking place.
Mountain just outside the city of Perugia. Over 34,000 square feet, made up of 30 fully furnished apartments and
I wonder what type of commission he gets from a 22 million house.
additional 1,600 square foot restaurant where chefs come from all over the world to cook for the guests of Monticelli. It boasts 2 pools, 1 jacuzzi, a full spa, and a chapel with frescoes dating back over 1,000 years. On its 18 acres is a farm that grows everything from cannabis to grapes for wine.
So, yeah, that's what the lifestyle experiences are for. It's just about connecting those, because those are the type of people that are going to have the money to, or the connections with people with money to then afford this. So go by networking. That's how you end up. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
Ciao, Danny.
Ciao, Giuseppe.
Come on up.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
It's great to be here. So I was thinking, do you mind if I take a tour of the castle grounds?
No problem.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Consider this as being your home.
So yeah, fucking, I mean, it makes sense too for anybody who would want to sell this, you know, getting as much views on it as possible could connect you possibly to the right buyer, right? And a lot of times people just like keeping properties published generally just because someone might see it and put an offer on it that's higher than what they paid for it, and then they profit. So I do think that's interesting, like the placements that get chosen here. The quality of the real estate is pretty big, because for them to go ahead and be jumping off with $5 million houses, $22 million houses, like you don't even see that in every real estate show. Fucking, there was this HGTV show I watched about like I think it's just called Beach House or something like that. And it was just about buying houses on the fucking beach, and a lot of those houses were on the lower, like less than 1 million. And so thinking about that too, like, you know, there's a lot of real estate agents who never touch that type of deal in their career, because you can make a good living, you know, selling real estate property in a lower level of income. That sounds classist. I don't like me right now. But fucking, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean though? Fucking, I'm thinking like it's interesting how you go in a career, like the types of networking required to create deals at this price point.
The current owner spent 25 years carefully renovating the place while maintaining its status as an Italian national landmark. Here I am at the Gothic Hall, where we can dine in the wintertime. Below me are handmade heated terracotta floors, and above.
And I'm thinking of all the ways you can monetize this house, whether it's just by finding the right buyer with enough money he wants to live there, or somebody could be renting this out for several reasons too, from like events to film to, you know, I don't know. I just feel like there's just a lot you could do here.
Above me are unique brick beam ceilings. 2,000 years ago, San Costanzo escaped religious persecution from Marcus Aurelius, right down here in this cave.
That's some interesting history. I wonder how they proved that happened, or you know, if there's just like the documentation. Google it, bitch. You can find that out. But I think that is fascinating. If that alone is like enough, that'll probably sell some fucking people who like Julius Caesar type shit. I don't know.
Monticelli is a boutique resort where people from all over the world come to relax. Right now I'm at the second pool. This is a private pool, just steps off of a private terrace above. And here's the primary pool. Not a bad place to spend a hot Italian summer day. Here I am in the Turkish bath, surrounded by 7 different shades of blue Italian piazza tiles.
level of how big this property is very fascinating to me. You know, that people can go live these types of lifestyles. I feel like I don't want to, I'm not saying I want this. I'm not trying to glorify it. I don't know if that sounds like I'm glorifying it. That probably does, huh? That's not what I meant to say. Well, I mean, on some levels, I think all human beings deserve a life of luxury, right? But on another level, it's like when you look at disparity and you look at what luxury is built off of, it's like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
This place can hold up to 20 people. To this day, you can still feel the energy of the popes, artists, innovators, and travelers that have passed through this magical place.
Are you saying that place is haunted? I do think it was cool to see that place, but if they don't connect that to him showing a deal or whatever, I do think it's interesting. Or if they're just not, or was that phone call like a conversation of, yeah, this is your listing, or bring buyers here? Or are they gonna show at least, you know, them touring somebody? I think it would have been cooler if they showed somebody touring that. But like for, you know, I just feel like it's the way that they present this doesn't seem to have a storyline, and I feel like even when other reality shows don't necessarily have like a direct, I've seen reality shows without like a direction that still have somewhat of a storyline in terms of um, there's events that they go to, there's specific houses that you see, deals that you see, conversations had. There's just, it feels like you're watching more of somebody's lived experience, even if it is, you know, fake scripted reality TV show. Versus this is just kind of like, okay, I feel like I'm watching a montage of different real estate marketing, um, advertising, like scenes potentially. You know what I'm saying?
I know Chicago like the back of my hand. I know every comp in the area. I know every detail about every property that I'm working on, and my response time is virtually 0. I just hate losing.
Having virtually 0 response time is just like, okay, are you going to, if that does worry me, like what type of, do you have a automated system for that? Are you using like an automated program, so, a caller program that has 24/7 pickup line for you to do that? Or are you burning your stuff out to be too available for your clients? You know what I mean?
So when's Alejandro getting here with his buyers?
He actually just texted me saying that they're parking, so we should be here in like 5 minutes.
Oh, cool. I think the girls are pulling up too.
Oh my God, awesome.
Yeah, they're almost here. But before that, look at us. Congrats.
Dude, I was not paying attention to those names before earlier, but is this the same chick that got the lead from the other chick that they were upset about? Is that what happened? But yeah, okay, fucking, but this, yeah, let's see. This is what we were watching before with that like open house though thing, right? So let's see how that.
On your first listing, we got this done.
Honestly, I could not have done it without you.
Oh my God, don't even worry.
Thank
Cheers
you so
to your
much.
first listing. Cheers.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? No, I just spilled all
Oh
down
my
my
God,
shirt.
shut up.
People are gonna be here in 5 minutes.
Okay.
This is my first open house, biggest potential deal of my life, and I just spilled all over my dress. Are you kidding me?
I mean, it wasn't really all over your dress. It was just up here, right? Or did I miss? Yeah. That would dry. That would dry real fast. Let your fucking hair down, put it over your damn shoulder. It'll be fine. Shit.
Don't freak out. I think I have another dress that might fit you.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Let's go get it. Let's go.
Thank you.
You really need a whole nother dress for that? That was a clear drink. I would not have, I would have been like, fuck it, it's clear, it's fine, it'll air dry. Like, what? I would have been glad it wasn't red wine. We're very different people.
Tristy to the rescue. I did not think that this jumpsuit was gonna fit me, but I made it work. Hey guys! Thank you so much for coming.
Love you.
Oh my
Thanks
gosh.
for coming. How are you?
Hi.
So good to see you.
You too. Thank you. Honestly, you have no idea.
It's been crazy.
Alejandro's about to be here with the buyers, so I'm gonna go let them up. But you guys take a look around. Let me know if you have any questions.
I'll show you guys around.
This There's a big ass house. Here's some big ass art pieces. Is that, can I even call that an art piece? Is that a print? Is that art? I don't know. Am I being rude? What if I'm rude? I'm fucked up. I'm so
Hey guys.
Hey Gabby, how are you doing today?
Maybe it was just the glare on the thing, but for me, it just didn't even look like an actual painting. It looked like an enlarged print of a painting. And I'm not speaking to the painting itself. I think it's a cool painting. I was just curious. I just thought it would be funny if it was like they paid money for an enlarged painting, but they didn't buy the painting. But if it's the actual painting and that's just a reflection of the glass on the frame, my bad. Fucking. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see what the fuck is happening.
Great, thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks for having us. This is my client Madison.
I'm Madison, I'm Gabby, I'm the listing broker.
Nice to meet you. I'm so excited to see this place.
It's a gorgeous unit, you guys are gonna love it. This way to the kitchen, you can take a look around. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I see the girls set everything up for me. It's cute that they're
You know, in a lot of other real estate shows, they'll show some form of how they have like some form of business card or like a brochure of like a one sheet of like the house, how many rooms and the features or things like that. I wonder if they're gonna show or like what type of thing they're doing to brand themselves for the open house.
They're done with the little TikToks and dookie faces, but hey, I skipped lunch today, and now the real estate poppy is hungry. All right, and here's the kitchen, Madison. Let's take a quick.
I do think it's a very interesting choice to do the shirtless off pic on the business card and make sure that's seen. Interesting choice. I do think whenever you tie your business to your physical appearance, on some levels, like, yeah, if you are presentable, people perceive you as someone who's going to do a better job for them if you're taking care of yourself. But on another level, it's just kind of like, well, if you base yourself off on, you know, colonial concepts of lookisms and ageisms, those don't last forever. So what are you going to build your business off of if that changes?
Quick look over here. You have double sink here, especially when you're hosting a big dinner party, and obviously the giant island makes it a lot easier to work together. You got 2 sub-zero fridges, 2 sub-zero freezers, and then the nice feature is too, if you want to have dinner here, you can definitely have it in the patio over here. I have many more patios that we'll see today, so let's take a look. Yeah. Over here we have a beautiful dining patio. We got grill, beautiful views, and we're gonna go this way over here to the dining room area. If you want to consider the 3rd dining room table.
Am I the only one that looks at these kitchens and I'm like, okay, this is all cool shit, but the concept of being responsible for cleaning all that overwhelms me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, okay. I also feel like the way that they like whenever in both walkthroughs that we're seeing, the critique I have, they're just walking you through places and they're labeling it what it is. The other dude did give you the cool, when he gave you the cool history facts, that did add a little bit more excitement to his. But overall, I feel like both of them don't do a good job of helping you see yourself in this experience. It's just like a very much like a list of the features.
We have one right over here as well.
I've always wanted one of these chairs.
Comfortable? How's it feel?
Not bad.
All right, let's take a quick look at this living room. What's kind of cool about it is the original owner was a famous DJ. So this used to be a bedroom, and he decided to tear down some walls and convert this into just a nice party area. You got your bar over here, you got plenty of space over here, and then it connects to one of the other many balconies that we mentioned. You usually don't get this much terrace in the heart of river north of Chicago, so.
Yeah, I wonder like what the percentage of people there that could be able to afford this type of housing in Chicago is like. Because a lot of people are saying this isn't Chicago real estate, so I guess they mean this isn't the standard to expect. But I guess that's partly the point of like quote unquote luxury real estate. But part of me is just like, I wonder, you know, what type of gentrification occurred for what we're seeing to be built, you know?
Hard to come by.
But it's beautiful. You got a little fire pit over here, and it actually wraps around, and it also connects to your master bedroom right over here. Nice, spacious bedroom. Get a ton of light, especially that sunset view is gorgeous. This is definitely one of my favorite rooms in the house.
Nice, the bedroom's great, but can I see the closet?
Of course, let's take a look at it. So this is your beautiful walk-in closet. I'm sure there's plenty of room.
For me.
Of course. So we can always find a little storage for your fiance.
Yeah, am I wrong about feeling like there's some type of oomph missing in the walkthrough?
Thank you guys so much for stopping by. It's so good to see you all.
Thank you for having us, Gabby. Appreciate it. We're going to get a drink. We're going to talk over everything, and I'll keep you posted, okay?
Sounds good. So nice to meet you, Madison.
Nice to meet you.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Have a good night.
Okay, I don't know why I thought that was like an open house type thing. So was that just one walkthrough with a client that wasn't an open house? Okay, I guess I just misconstrued what that potentially was. So yeah.
So you spent a lot of time in LA.
Yeah.
What brought you back to Chicago?
Well, I love LA. Don't get me wrong. You know, I did fashion out there. I did the music out there. I was living in the hills. Like it was fun. It was wild, a little too wild sometimes. But I'm from Chicago, and I know that at the end of the day, like the people in Chicago are more genuine. There's more of a community, and I'm trying to build a business.
And this is kind of why I feel like it's more of a promo reel than more of like a reality show, because it showed, unless they come back to it at the end of this or maybe later in the series, like for them to go from showing him at that $22 million Italian mansion to now you're watching him do this, what is it, a podcast or interview type thing. It just kind of feels like, okay, look how great I'm doing at business, rather than showing like the reality of what it takes to be doing business. But maybe I'm wrong for saying that.
Right? So if I'm going to do that in LA, like I'm pretty sure everyone's just going to be like looking at their phone, checking their Instagram all day. They're just more obsessed with their own social media than trying to work together with other people.
Which I think is interesting. Normally, whenever I feel like things are scripted, I feel like the way they do that is for drama. The way these people are doing it, in my opinion, even though they do use drama, I think they did that in an engagement, rage-baity, clickbaity way. I think they are doing this in more of a look how great we are way. But the reason I feel that is their specific placement and, you know, the way they talk about luxury branding. You know, the lack of like chronology and a storyline, or even if it wasn't in chronological order, there just doesn't seem to be any type of interconnection between the events that we're seeing. If that makes sense. Beyond the fact that they all do real estate and
So basically my day-to-day life as a realtor is I wake up, I do a little bit of yoga and meditation to help get my brain settled for a crazy day, because that's what real estate is. And then I take my dog for a walk, and we stop and get 2 shots of espresso, one for me, one for her, or maybe one extra for me to deal with her. So when I first started real estate, I joined one of the biggest real estate firms in the country, and I thought that that was going to be the best possible situation for me because they had a great reputation. What I
feel like, you know, I wonder what time, if she gets up early to do this, or, you know, if like they don't have like, you know, because it's interesting when you're like, because for me, I don't have anybody telling me what time I should be doing things. So on some levels, it's interesting to have that flexibility with my time, but on another level, it's a lot of pressure because I don't have guaranteed income either, you know what I mean?
ended up realizing is that there was no possible way for me to gain a mentor if I was working on my own team at a big company. So then I started looking elsewhere, and I found Hudson Burnham, which was a boutique firm that was kind of starting to become a little bit bigger, which worked well for me because I've worked at startups before, and I've loved the
I feel like boutique firm could be a good way to advertise them. Is it really still appropriate to market them as a startup? Are they a startup?
way they run. And so I talked to the 2 owners, Danny and Ryan, and we had a great interview, and I realized that this would be a great fit for me because not only did I have 2 mentors, but I also had the freedom to work the way I wanted to work and when I
You know, why are we 16 and a half minutes into the pilot episode and they're like barely in it?
wanted to work.
Or maybe that's who those people were and I didn't realize it because I don't know who the fuck these people are. But, right? Or am I wrong?
When listing a property is all about timing, I'm ready to go. We're going to sell this in 2 weeks. At Hudson Burnham, we want to sell it in 1 day.
Hi! Okay, yeah, I know you can want to sell it in 1 day, but I feel like that's a unrealistic expectation. You know what I'm saying? Particularly in luxury real estate. How are you guaranteeing that you're matching your buyer to the right offer in that manner if they've only had 1 day to consider it?
long time
Good
no
to see you. So I'm super excited about this place.
So are we. Let's check it
So yeah, to me that feels a bit more profit focused than user experience focused, but perhaps I'm wrong.
All right, let's go see it. I've been working with this lovely couple for a while now, and they're some of my good friends, but they're kind of driving me crazy. Emily wants a full neighborhood type of feel, and Trey wants basically a bachelor pad up in the sky, and unfortunately, we can't figure out how to compromise on both of them. But I think I have found the place. All right, guys, so this is the first of 3 floors. These are some black quartz countertops. It's a full chef's kitchen. We have custom fixtures throughout, and 17-foot tall ceilings, as well as full-length windows, which is awesome.
Love it.
Gorgeous houses. I can't imagine having so much money. You're just like, yeah, let's argue about where to live. I've never been there before, but that sounds cool.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
Let's go see the rest of the house.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I was quite unsure if they were loving the place when we first walked in, but then once I showed them the primary bedroom and bathroom, everything changed. So this is the master bathroom.
Oh, this is insane.
It's encased in all marble, which is absolutely beautiful. So one of my favorite elements about this bathroom is the rainfall shower.
Wow.
It's absolutely huge.
This
It's
is crazy.
stunning.
I mean, you can fit, what, 2 or 3 people in that shower. All right. This is where the magic happens?
This is the master bedroom. So as you can see, there's floor to ceiling.
Okay, I was previously criticizing how I didn't feel there was enough pitching in the features and benefits for all, but they're all doing it in the same way. And so maybe I'm wrong for that. Perhaps that's, they're playing it low key in this way by not overselling it in the way we typically see it. Perhaps this gives people more of a decision to feel how they feel about it. Perhaps that is a better way to do it. I don't know.
Ceiling windows like the rest of the house. Another great element that this bedroom has is these blackout curtains. So you can make it completely a dungeon in here, sleep in however long you want.
Are those automatic?
Yes, they are.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
That's a huge convenience factor.
This view is amazing.
It's truly unmatched.
Wow, I'm speechless right now.
Yeah.
It's
Love
crazy.
to hear it. Let's check out the putting green. There's no better place to talk business than the golf course.
Yeah, right about that.
So how you feeling about all of this?
I mean, it's a big decision.
Baby, I think this is the one.
If she likes it, I love it, so.
I think we should make an offer tonight then. In this market, I would truly be doing my clients a disservice having them come in lower than the asking price. So especially with Emily and Trey and me being so close to them, I don't want them to lose out on their dream home, and they know that.
I do think it's interesting the logic they use for going in with the pricing, because sometimes, you'll have like people be like, okay, well, we can go in lower. And sometimes they'll be like, no, we can go, going in, So yeah.
How do you feel about negotiating right under?
In a typical market, that would be okay. But right now, with how the market, how quick it's moving and everything, just coming in at asking price or even a little bit higher is the best bet for you to actually get this place. You can afford it, and so it's worth it. Don't try and time the market. The perfect time to buy is when it's perfect for you.
This is the one.
I kind of do agree with the concept of trying the market is a bad idea, because you never know where the market's going to go. It can change in a day. Even you could buy it when it's a good time for you, and then want to sell it and it'd be a horrible time, things like that. Yeah, I do think that is interesting that, when you give clients that advice, I kind of sometimes will be giving them that advice in a different way with marketing. And I'm just like, yeah, like if, you want to this result, you need to spend this amount of money, or you shouldn't even bother running the ad campaign, because you're not going to get any results, because it takes a certain amount of views to get a conversion. And if you're not getting to this point, you're not going to get to this point, right? So like I can kind of understand, that logic as well, when you're just like, I can understand why it looks like I'm trying to talk you into more money, but if you understand how the market works. And so that's what I try to do with my content long form, is to explain where to put your money and why, and the conversion rates. And I'm talking about how typically ads perform at a 1% conversion rate. So people are like, I want to spend $10 and get a $5,000 deal off of it. And I'm like, that's not possible. And then I have to explain why you're going to have to spend a lot more money than $10 to secure a 5,000, things like that is what I'm saying, right? So you gotta always know where to bid.
Well, I don't lose, so it's shoot for the neck and let's go straight at the asking price.
Yay! Let's go for it. All right, we'll get the paperwork drawn up tonight.
All right.
Amazing.
I do think it's interesting choose, we do at least get one example in here for them to show what it's like to close a deal, the negotiation, and the pricing process on that. And also, like, I do think the way she closed that she was assertive, but she wasn't aggressive. I think that was interesting. She stuck to her numbers, but she didn't come off as pushy. I think that was a very careful balance that she did pretty well on. Or at least for the sake, even if it was fake, for the sake of filming.
Everyone knows that Hudson Burnham throws great parties. This one's going to be even crazier because we just went international. No one ever misses these.
I got that 40 and 40, even if I go north. I'm finna throw it in fourth. If you're not short, I'm short. If you're not short, then I'm short. I'm short.
Oh, hey, welcome. Thank you. Tristan.
She doesn't return my Slack messages, but she shows up to the party. I'm kidding.
Thanks for coming. Good to see you. I know what this is.
Yeah. Wrapping up with the party for the episode brings me back to the conclusion of this does just feel like, it's just advertising, more of so than for the purpose of entertainment.
Sure. Oh my God, this is such a good gift. The Golden Rooster!
We're talking
21 karat gold leaves right here.
Linear.
Thank you, man. We're kind of like a marketing agency, a social media agency, a tech startup, all working together to support our real estate agency.
I mean, real estate agency is basically, it involves all of those sectors. So, yeah, I can understand how people, when they're in real estate, consider themselves in all of those buckets, because you are. But I think it is interesting how they kind of be like, we're not a real estate agency. Like, they kind of said that at the beginning. They're like, we're a startup. And now they're like, we're not a real estate agency, we're marketing. But I do think it's interesting how they try to take that focus off of the fact that they're trying to actually sell you real estate, because it kind of like is like this little distraction. Like, no, we're just like we're really good communicators. We're networkers. We're having a good time, but buy this house. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of, in my opinion, kind of like slips it in under there.
How are you doing? Congratulations. Well, there's no congratulations right now. I feel like we're always building.
Yeah.
So don't ever congratulate me.
All right, bro.
I feel like that's kind of rude. Don't ever congratulate me, because we're always building. Like, if that was to be a response to someone is kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm rude. Maybe I'm weird for thinking that's a rude response, but like, someone's sending you well wishes and you're like, don't send me well wishes. That come off as rejection, right? Like, I kind of understand the concept of how you always think you can be doing better, so you just, like, I don't know, but I don't know why I felt like rubbed the wrong way about that.
Ready for the night? So I'm gonna do the speech with Brian, and it's gonna show the world there's new music for all the new EPs coming soon. Thank you guys so much for coming. It means so much to us. It's so amazing to finally.
Oh shit, it was this dude's brokerage. I was like, this dude's not even in it, it's his brokerage. It was him. My bad. But yeah, dude, alright. I do think that's interesting. To see, okay, like, he's making it known he has a name for himself and all of that, but at the same time, the way that they do the real estate, this film doesn't really feel like, I feel like calling it a reality real estate show is an interesting, like, clickbait title. Like, perhaps now I'm seeing it more of clickbait, because for me it doesn't really feel on the reality show side. It feels more of like an advertising reel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of want to make like a promotional advertising reel for yourself based on your lifestyle experience. And I do think it's an effective ad. I think it would have been potentially better well received by the commenters if they didn't think they were gonna get a reality show, but it wasn't one, in my opinion, because it doesn't feel like one. It feels more of like a documentation of your advertising,
Be our own brokerage. When Ryan and I started this company, it was the middle of the pandemic. We moved into the same 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay, so they are a startup then. That is, 4 to 5 years old. potentially, maybe. I don't know, could be younger.
And we were writing on the glass and the whiteboards. Everything we wrote on those whiteboards has come true so far. It's unbelievable. And those were dark times. Not only are we here to thank you guys, but we're here to celebrate a new future. Don't just move in, move up, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Cheers.
Don't give it up for Double Back Guru.
Oh, okay, so now we've got the rapper here. So I do perceive that earlier comment from that earlier person as potential racism. I'm going to end it here for my reaction and just kind of reflect, like, in terms of, you know, why were people hating so much in the comments there? I can kind of see why, because they're marketing it as a real reality show, but the episode doesn't really feel like one. Because you're not having much conversation between the characters, and if after this episode there is further development with the characters, with the interactions, there's more connection between the scenes, we're seeing like the results of some of the things we saw from this one, then I think perhaps I could, you know, be wrong about this. But if they're all like this, it feels more of like just kind of like advertising reels, and it doesn't feel like it meets user expectations with what we expect out of a reality show. Typically with a reality show, they're kind of known for, even if they're scripted, being more based on interpersonal relationships. And a lot of times, you know, they will also have like the business and all of that, but like not having more, like the most dialogue we saw where we're doing the showings, right? But there's not, or the one argument in which there was the lead dispute, but that wasn't even properly explained in my opinion. It just kind of felt like it was thrown in there to, you know, hook people at the towards the beginning to see if people would stay if there's more scenes like that or something. But I don't know if I'm wrong for that, but I'm thinking that, like, I'm just considering reflecting on, um, would you consider this a reality show? You know what I mean? Like, what is a reality show? If anyone films their reality and calls it a show, is it then a reality show? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. Are there set parameters for what should define a reality show? Am I being too, because at this point now we can call TikTok live streams reality shows, right? Or no, right? Like, so I kind of feel like the reality show though, like this feels more of like a montage of scripted or predetermined deals to film than more of like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I can kind of see why the commentary that was made before. So yeah, it's been a good reflection for me. I feel like I don't know if it's worth it as a show to watch from this perspective of would this be entertainment? Possibly not. In terms of would you get education from it, I feel like it's something you can observe to see if the value alignment you have with the way they do business, or if any of the business procedures you catch that they show would be useful for you. Perhaps it would be worth it to watch the rest of it. But I'm not gonna watch the rest of it because uh I haven't fully processed it. Maybe I'll do a different live stream if I, or address it again if I process it later. But there's just something about it, like the difference between other real estate reality shows is I feel like if they choose to focus more on the business side, you at least get to see more customer user experience. So with them, I think it's just because they're so new, they don't have that experience to fully give you what you expect out of a reality show, either from the client side or from the business relationship side. Because, you know, I feel like even if they are a startup, they could be filming how they're working together as a team better potentially, but that's just me. Um, so yeah, let me know what you think. What do you think about this shit? I think the commentary before is pretty valid. I think all of this is pretty good reflection on user experience and value alignment, you know, from my reflection on my own possible ableism at the beginning not possible but definite, but like possible perpetuation of ableism at the beginning, and to even fucking like how are what is the expectation from users who are watching this expecting a reality show when they experience this, as well as, you know, what is the worker experience like in that type of environment, and what is the customer experience like in that type of environment, and reflecting on that, like, would, you know, are they doing the work to build customer relationship and things like that. Who knows? Does their procedure work for that long term? Because they're a startup, that's hard for me to determine. That will, you know, you would have to see. But yeah, I'm interested to see what their future is like. It looks like they've got a lot of connections. I do perceive it. I'm fascinated with how problematic real estate is to me because it upholds colonialism. Um, so yeah. Alright, I feel like my mind is bloop. I'm just thinking about food now. I'm always hungry at the end of these live streams. I'm like, damn, I should have ate more before. But I did eat a grilled cheese before this one. Yeah, I'm kind of addicted to those. So fucking, I don't know. I'm gonna go stare at my fridge and stuff. Yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you just reflect in general on like different sales negotiation and pricing strategies that you could be using for yourself based on what is working for these other fucks. You know what I mean? I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a great day. And yeah, bye. Thanks for watching. Join the loyalty program at noladeafchild.com/loyalty and check in during live streams to get points for rewards.